Well, good morning folks, and welcome to the second of this week's reviews. My name's Lee, your virtual airline pilot, back with you again with another scenery review. We are in the UK, we're in Scotland, and we're looking at another version of Aberdeen International Airport in Scotland in the UK. Now, some of you may remember I did a review of the same airport produced by a company called AURASCENERY. So here we are looking at Gary Summers' UK2000 Scenery version. Gary's a well-known developer, somebody I've supported for years. Some great scenery work, and to be honest, at first look, this one shows no exception. This also seems to be a really good project, and we're going to have a close look at it. So here we are then, Aberdeen Airport in Scotland in the UK, Echo Golf Papa Delta. This is a payware scenery by UK2000 Scenery. This is version 1, the release version for Flight Simulator 2020. The download's quite small, it's only 38 meg and the installation's 137 meg. But you will need an additional file, which I'll mention in a moment. It's currently available from Simmarket. Gary has decided to route all his sales through Simmarket now. The current price at Simmarket is €19.99, which equates to roughly $21.59 US, or £17.10 UK. Now those prices are taken from euro, and they do include tax or VAT. In the UK it's 20%, but of course it may vary depending on where you are in the world where you make your purchase. So let's look at the key features of Gary's version. So key features then, we have full detail buildings, realistic ground markings, a high resolution ground image, stunning night effects, high detailed airport vehicles, excellent frame rates. They have a full set of signs, fencing, vegetation, PBR materials, and they also have static aircraft. You can see to the left here you've got BRISTOW helicopters and various others. These are optional, you can deselect them if you prefer, which is useful. Now, in addition to the downloaded install file, you'll also need the UK2000 Scenery Common Library file, and I'll post a link to it in the description below. And that downloads at 85 megs and installs at 429 meg. So you're still looking at quite a small installation, just over half a gigabyte for the whole scenery, which is pretty impressive. Okay, so let's talk history. So a little bit of history for you, and those of you who've seen my video on the AURASCENERY version of this can skip this if they wish to. But for the new viewers among you, here we go. Aberdeen International Airport, Echo Golf Papa Delta, is a public use international airport operated by Aberdeen International Airports Limited and owned by AGS Airports, which also owns and operates Glasgow and Southampton airports. The airport was previously owned and operated by Heathrow Airport Holdings, formerly the BAA, a company I used to work for many years ago. Aberdeen Airport is located in Dice, in the Dice suburb of Aberdeen in Scotland, approximately 5.8 miles or 9.3 kilometres northwest of Aberdeen city centre. As of 2023, 1.9 million people used this airport. Aberdeen Airport is a base for Eastern Airways and Logan Air. The airport also serves as the main heliport for the offshore North Sea oil and gas industry. With the utilisation of newer aircraft, helicopters can reach the northernmost platforms on both the east and west coast of Shetland. The airport has a main passenger terminal serving all scheduled and charter holiday flights, and in addition there are 4 terminals dedicated to North Sea helicopter operations used by Bristow helicopters, CHC helicopters, NHV and Babcock Mission Critical Services offshore. There's also an additional small terminal adjacent to the main passenger terminal, used only for specific oil company charter flights to Sundberg in Shetland. The airport opened on the 28th of July 1934 as Dice Aerodrome. During the Second World War, the airfield became a Royal Air Force station known as Royal Air Force Dice, and more commonly RAF Dice. The airfield was bombed by the Luftwaffe in July and August 1940. However, no damage was reported. A decoy site, known as a Q site, was located at Harriston Moss near Whitcairns. The aim of this site was to create the impression of an active airfield during the night. The decoy worked very well on around 4 occasions, where several raids resulted in bombs being dropped on the decoy site. The decoy site had a small underground bunker that housed a generator. This was used to power a decoy flare path, in addition to a rotating lamp, to give the impression of a taxiing aircraft. Virtually nothing remains from the war era at the airport due to expansion and development of the industrial estates around it. With the discovery of North Sea oil, helicopter operations began in 1967, linking the growing number of oil platforms to the mainland. As Aberdeen became the largest oil-related centre in Europe, the airport became the world's largest commercial heliport. Today, Aberdeen Airport handles more than 37,000 rotary ring movements, carrying around 468,000 passengers annually. Helicopters account for almost half of all aircraft movements at the airport. However, some 13 airlines operate into and out of Aberdeen, as well as 2 cargo operators. So there you go, folks, there's something of a history. Here you've got practically the world's largest heliport, and Gary has included some excellent models. As I've said before, you'll need the additional Common Library file, and make sure you get the latest. If you've already got one, go to Gary's site, follow the link and get the latest and update it. I had the library file installed and didn't see any of the helicopters until I realised I needed to update the Common Library file. So that was history for you. Now let's look at runways here. Okay, so runways. So we've lowered the lighting. It's 7:30 in the evening local time. Today is the 3rd of April 2024. Aberdeen Airport operates 3 runways, 2 of which are for helicopter use only. The main fixed-wing use runway, runway 1634, measures 6,407 feet or 1,953 metres. Of the 2 helicopter use only runways, runway 1432 measures 1,906 feet or 581 metres, and runway 0523 is the shortest, measuring just 1,562 feet or 476 metres. All the runways are constructed from asphalt. The airport lies at an elevation of 215 feet or 66 metres and sits within the GMT UTC time zone. Now, like the rest of the UK and many other parts of the world, Aberdeen observes Daylight Saving Time, or DST, which is now in operation for the summer here in 2024, and so the airport is currently 1 hour ahead of GMT UTC. So let's start with the main runway here, runway 1634, and we're looking at the 16 end. This runway features high-intensity runway lighting, high-intensity airfield lighting system, centerline lighting, and precision approach path indicators. Runway 16, this end on the right side, and runway 34, the other end on the left side. We'll look at that in a moment. Now, runway approaches, you have standard instrument landing system here. Both ends of the runway you have a VOR approach option, and there's an NDB approach option at the other end, runway 34 only. So as you can see, it's pretty much accurate. You've got the lead-in lights here, which again are on the charts. There's the centerline lights, the PAPIs are on the right. Let's go have a look at the other end, runway 34. Here we are looking down the throat of runway 34 at the other end, and as you can see, everything as per the charts. Again, the lead-in lights, and the PAPIs are on the left, which is where they should be. So let's go and look at runway 1432. So here we are looking at runway 1432. This is the 14 end here. As you can see, there's no lighting as such. This is helicopter use only. It's not available for night use for obvious reasons. So you'd use this during the daytime or the daylight hours before dusk really gets going. Quick look at the other end. So here we are, runway 32, the other end. Notice the H on the runways there, marking it for helicopter use only. So let's check out runway 0523. So here we are looking at runway 0523. This is the 05 end. And again, according to the charts, you have runway lighting, which indeed it does, and you have helicopter approach path indicators. Now you can see them. Let's go up a little bit closer. Okay, so I've had a good look, and to say, the only thing I can't find are these helicopter approach path indicators. I'll put an image up for you so you can see what they look like. Gary's included all the WIGWAGs, or the runway guard lights as the North Americans call them, but we don't have the helicopter approach path indicators, certainly not this end. Let's go check out the other end, runway 23. Now here we are looking at runway 23 end, and here you can see he's included the helicopter approach path indicators. They're very small, but they can be seen as you come in with the helicopter. Again, I'll put the image up to the top right where you can see what the actual instrument looks like. I can't see this at the other end, runway 05, so maybe it's just at 23, I'm not sure. But here's a better high-level view of runway 23. As you can see, it's marked with the H, helicopters only. There's a landing point there in the middle of the runway, and here you can see the two guard indicators. And finally, before we leave the subject of runways, you'll note here we've got a runway 3618. As far as I can find out from this is no longer used, or maybe used in an emergency. Again, you can see there's no lighting, there's no center lining at all, no touchdown zone path or anything. So this may well have been used previously, but as far as I know, it's not used today. So finally, none of the helicopter approach runways have published instrument approaches available in the charts. So there you go, that does it for runways. No jetways at this airport, so let's get down to the airport itself proper and have a good look at Gary's rendition of Aberdeen International. Okay, we're going to start this tour by looking at this structure here at the far south end of the airport. It's adjacent to the threshold of runway 34, which is just to the right here. This is the Aberdeen International Business Park, quite a large construction that's been around for a little while, and as you can see, Gary's done it in really high detail, some really nice texture and building work here. Here's part of the fuel farm as well of the airport. And if I swing the view round a bit, there you can see the airport. This is runway 34 approach, looking north. So having seen that, let's take a tour towards the centre of the airport on the west side and have a look at what Gary has done for us. So you've got the car park here. We'll pass over the fuel farm. And here you can see lots of little buildings. They're really very nice indeed. And you've got various sort of freight sheds and buildings here, all accurate, and they all exist on the real airport. There below to the right you can see the fence line, various hotels up there to the left, which we'll look at shortly. Now we come across the airside ramp. And as you can see, the detail is excellent. There's parallaxing on the windows, but you've also got the odd person here and there. Look, you've got passengers here waiting to board an aircraft, and you've got an engineer down there. There's a lot of detail in Gary's version, dare I say far more than in the AURASCENERY version. But as you can see, I mean, it looks the part. Loads of clutter, all airport specific. It's all excellent. As we come out across the taxiway here, you can see all the signage. The signs are all accurately placed and they're all correct. Here's the other side of the terminal complex going down here, and again you can see the detail is evident. And here we're coming up to one of the Bristow helicopter hangars. And you have some really nice helicopter models. Again, I have to reiterate that you'll need the latest model library that Gary has in order to see these aircraft. And once again, you see we've got passengers down there. Some really good aircraft models here too. And here we come up to Eastern Airways hangars, and we've got some nice renditions here of Eastern Airlines aircraft. Once again, accurate taxiway signs. Here's the control tower, or the NAT tower as they call it here. You can see we have some development inside. Let's have a look. And there you go, we've got two controllers and an engineer, and some nice internal development there. So here we got CHC helicopter base. Once again, some very nice helicopter models. They do look really good. And here we're coming towards the Eastern Airways hangar. A couple of aircraft outside, there's also one inside the hangar. And there's the view inside the hangar, beautifully modelled, got everything right down to the roof size there, and you've got the aircraft itself in there. So we've got DHL facility there. Here we come to the fire training ground. As you see, we've got various aircraft models here, all accurate as per real life, where the fire service train on them sort of once a month, sometimes more. So now we're on the eastern side, and we'll travel down the eastern fence. As you can see, various buildings here. All of them pretty accurate. So there's a freight building there, Pentagon Freight. Here we've got NHV helicopter base on the east side of the field. Again, complete with helicopters. All beautifully done. Everything down to the ground markings there. And again, we've got a couple of people on the ramp. It all looks really nice, especially the foliage placement is good as well. As you can see, the facilities have been accurately modelled from the real airport. We're coming up to the Logan Air hangar. And again, some nice modelling and the accurate Logan aircraft as well. This is GAMA Aviation. And here you can see this building directly behind GAMA Aviation where you've got a helicopter landing pad. So here we come to the Echo apron here, again on the east side of the field, various private jets. And if I remember correctly, somewhere here you find Signature Aviation as well. Again, various helicopters. It's really nice. This is the CHC building. I mean, this airport has everything. It really is really very finely detailed. There we've got the fire station, which looks really good. Various buildings landside, and then here we are at Signature Aviation, which is on the far eastern side of the airfield with private jets, a couple of people. It all looks very, very nice indeed. So just a quick shot there showing you some of the signs. Gary's built them into the concrete fixtures there. They look very, very good. And you still have also the blue airfield edge lights. Everything is really, really nicely detailed, which is what I like about this version. So there you go, that was an airport tour during the daytime. Let's lower the lighting to dusk now and have a look at some of the dynamic lighting on the field. Okay, 10 to 8 local time. As I said, it's the early April 2024. The lighting came on about 3-4 minutes ago, and here we are looking at the main ramp area where my aircraft is. Let's get a closer look. So here's my aircraft parked on stand 5. As you can see, lighting is excellent, no real problems at all. And they're looking in the other direction. You've got animated people inside there, a couple of people waiting at the doorway, parallaxing at the top. All of this looks really nice. It's very, very nicely done. The lights are accurate, they're providing the right amount of light. All looks pretty good here. Okay, so here's a quick view from the flight deck. We're inside the Phoenix Airbus A320, which is just powering up. And this is what you'll see when you park up at stand 5. There's the view out the captain's side. It all looks pretty realistic, doesn't it? And looking out across the first officer's window. Very nice indeed. So just a couple of close-up shots here of the airside terminal. There you can see our passengers, they're animated, which is nice. And there on the top you can see the parallaxing, which is of a very high resolution, and so it looks good even up close. So a very quick tour across the airside ramp. As you can see at this time, we're sort of just before 8 o'clock in the evening. The lighting is very nice, it's subtle. You've got green centerline lights, runway guard lights all over the place, so you're not going to have any trouble finding your way around the airport here to park up. And you can see various amounts of subtle lighting here and there, which really do the airport justice. We'll look at landside in a moment. But as you can see, you've got various moving vehicles. Beautiful signage. I mean, it really does look good. And there in the distance you've got the control tower and the additional facilities here. Okay, 1 or 2 Asobo globes here now to the left, but I'm not really going to complain about it. There's so much detail here. I'm wondering about that 737 private jet there. Wonder if it exists at the airport in real life, I'm not sure. But as you can see, some very nice subtle lighting, and particularly the control tower here. Some good lighting internally here we can see. And when you look at it outside, it also looks pretty good. And you can see here high resolution parallaxing on the building has given this really nice effect. It's very, very good indeed. So we just skirt over some of these hangars here on the western side. Bristow helicopters down here. I mean, to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of Asobo globes floating all around, but at the end of the day they give the right amount of light here, and this is such a nice, beautifully detailed airport. I really can't find the ability to make any complaints. And once again here, parallaxing people, it's really, really good. Gary's done a wonderful job here with minimal amount. It just looks realistic. So we travel across the ramp. There you can see we've also got the drainage holes. Let's go landside of the main terminal now. And this is the only different things. Gary's got a nice sort of higher resolution image here, but it's not exactly 3D. But again, you see the terminal here, we've got people. That's very nice, and he's decided to use the two signs that stand outside the airport to sort of advertise his own organisation, which is fine. I have no complaints about that. A lot of developers do this. We have the high level shot. Again, you've got parallaxing there, which gives the impression of what's going on in the terminal. It's just brilliant. And once again, an overview looking back there, and this is sort of the only way you get the thing spoiled a bit. You've got these globes hanging around here, where you've got adequate lighting that's being provided by the lamps in the correct places, and yet you've got these globes which kind of spoil the effect when you're looking at it like this, I suppose. So there again, you're looking at the other end. We've got a couple of people there below us. You see here, this isn't quite 3D. It's low resolution ground poly. It's high in some places, but it's not in others. I would have liked to have seen this done properly in 3D, but nope, that's fine. The rest of the airport is so detailed, it's really hard to find fault with it. And here's a slightly higher level view showing you towards landside, where you've got the hoardings here on the car park. And just the general layout here looks really good. You've got these walkways. These are all as per the airport as well. So here you've got the airport entrance. Again, the car park's landside are left to sort of photo scenery to some extent. But again, the airport is really what Gary's concentrating on, and that's fine, have no problem with that. So a couple of hotels, Premier Inn here, there's the courtyard. And here you've got the other hotel, which is the Holiday Inn Express, which unfortunately is not lit at all. So there's an overview of the airport from a very high level. We're looking sort of northeast. Here you've got the main runway 1634. Various guard lights, wigwag lights flashing around all over the place, and as you can see, lots of subtle lighting on some of the various buildings. So let's drop it down to night time now. Okay, 10 PM local time, and as you can see, the darkness is upon us and the lighting has come up quite nicely. The whole airport looks really good at night. So let's start by having a close look at the ramp. So there you can see airside, there's my aircraft parked on stand 5. And again, you see you've got blue edge lights, green centerline lights, all of which will help you get to the main parking area during the night time. And the ramp itself is adequately lit. Here's landside, again quite nicely lit despite the sober globes floating everywhere, and it does look pretty nice. And just a quick view showing you the main terminal approach area there. So let's take a slow tour across the runways and taxiways here. The lighting looks really nice actually, no real problems at all. The guard lights could be argued as being pretty bright, but you know, they're fine, they're perfectly acceptable. And again, wherever you go, the lighting looks quite beautiful really. And here's an example of just how good the parallaxing looks during the night time. And that really does look good. Helicopter base is nicely lit. And there's the Eastern Airways hangar. So here we are looking at the approach to runway 16. Here you get a close-up look at the guard lights. They look great. They're just a bit bright for me. I'm not sure, maybe that's wrong, I don't know. But they look to be a little bit too bright for me. But no question about the fact that they're there and they're accurate. And once again, a quick look here at the other side, the eastern side. Here's the NHB helicopter base. Again, parallaxing there on the windows of that building, all of which really brings it to life and just makes it look right. Again, some lovely taxiway lighting and signage. And here we come to Logan Air. And the GAMA aviation hangar there. And remember, behind there we've got a helicopter pad. Let's just see if it's lit. Well, there it is. It's not exactly lit, but it is lit by some ambient light. It doesn't have its own lighting. But here we are in the middle of the darkness. If you can find your way here, you'll have no problem landing on that should you need to. And once again, you've got the various helicopters down here. There's the fire service. I just want to see if Signature is lit. Actually, it's not. So there's Signature, and you can see parallaxing. We're up close and it still looks pretty good. It's a pity the building has no external lighting, but maybe it doesn't operate after dark, I don't know. So that was a quick tour during the night time. You can see some of the hotels there to the left have some lighting, which comes up at night time, which is really quite good. Let's bring the dawn up now, and if I'm in the right position, we should have the sun come up behind us. So just after 6:45 in the morning, and there you can see the red glow on the airport as the sun comes up behind us. It's very nice, very atmospheric. And we're looking to the south. Here you've got the hotels here to the right. Here's the threshold of runway 34. And there we are looking to the north. There's runway 16 threshold, there's the control tower, various helicopter facilities, Eastern Airways, and the buildings on the eastern side here. And there's the sun coming up in the east. Okay, late afternoon, and time to wrap up this review and give you my conclusions. Firstly, straight off the bat, I have to say I think this is the better of the two. No disrespect to AURASCENERY, who've done a very nice job with that airport. I think you're going to be quite happy with it. If you bought that one, you shouldn't be disappointed at all. But Gary is a UK developer. He knows the airports pretty well and does quite a bit of research. And I think what he's come up with is excellent. Much more detail than the other version. And of course all the various models really make it work. He's got passengers and people in the right places, many of them animated. The texturing on the buildings, even those off the airport, excellent, really good. The dusk lighting is quite adequate. The night lighting is better, but you know, there are some Sobo globes in places that I wouldn't expect them, but that's not necessarily Gary's fault. Some developers have the ability to remove them, some don't, I don't know. But Gary's been around a while, he's a good developer, a skilled developer, certainly when he's transitioned to Flight Sim 2020. And what we've got here is a really nice detailed airport. For the pilots among you flying in and out of here, and the helicopter operators that might want to muck about at this airport, everything you need as a pilot is here, in spades, and it looks wonderful. Do I think it's worth €20? Yes, it probably is. Again, because there's so much detail and the work that's been put in here. Gary is a one-man band. When you consider what's been placed here, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So there you go, folks. It's Aberdeen Airport in Scotland in the UK, Echo Golf Papa Delta. This version by Gary Summons at UK2000 Scenery. In my opinion, the better of the two. Download is 38 meg, installs 137 meg, and it's currently available from Simmarket. Price is €19.99, which equates to roughly $21.59 US, or £17.10 UK. Those prices are estimates. The US and UK prices are estimates taken from the euro, and they include tax or VAT, which of course could vary depending on where you are in the world when you make your purchase. Also, please note you need to install the latest UK2000 Common Scenery Library. As I've said, I had mine installed but realised that it was outdated because none of the helicopters appeared. So when you buy the scenery, make sure you go and get the latest version. The link is in the description below. But I think it's great. It's a lovely airport, very nicely modelled, and as far as I know, it looks good in the winter as well. So congratulations to Gary for producing yet another winner, and I think the price is excellent too. So there you go, folks, that's the second review wrapped up for this week. If you've been on the fence about these two airports, I hope this has helped you. There are a lot of people out there who like Gary's work. I'm one of them, and there are some people that think a little bit worried about the fact that he's branched out into parts of the USA and other areas and are wondering if he's neglected the UK. Well, clearly he hasn't, and what you've got here is a really stunning little airport with shed loads of detail. Such a project for one person to take on, and I like it a lot. So there you are, folks. My name's Lee, your virtual airline pilot, wrapping up another review. Hope this has helped you. Have a great week, safe flying, and I will see you in the next video. I'm hoping to upload a landing on my world tour where we went into Bangkok. We're currently at Bangkok, and that video hopefully coming during this week. So take care, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.